Hola, amigos, and welcome back to another one of my Bring a Blanket live writing and productivity sprints. But this is an extra special edition because we are joined by the lovely Margaret Pinard, who I'm sure that you all know. She's got the giggles at the moment because I said something silly just before we went live. But over to you, Margaret, so that you can introduce yourself.
Well, hello, everybody on Emma Bennet's lovely channel. I'm dropping in today to help be productive because when I show up, other people are productive and mine just goes all to hell in a handbasket, which is fine because, there's no order in anything in my life right now. But generally, you can find me over on Margaret Pinard, it's the name of my channel. On YouTube, that's my most active channel, the place I love to be the most. And I do book stuff and author stuff and would love to see you there.
And you hold lots of like readathons and stuff, don't you? It's kind of a real community over there with lots of different things going on.
I host 2 readathons a year currently, and I'm less than half really, AuthorTube writing conference team.
Sorry, there we go. You're everywhere. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I talk about books and book reviews and book tags. Some AuthorTube doesn't have that many tags, but BookTube has a lot. And so currently my table is full of maybe 40 books because of all the stacks I've been trying to get into. So I've got actually goals today for today's stream because I wanted to be on task for someone else's channel more than I am responsible on my own. So I'm ready.
Brilliant. So what are you going to be working on today?
So I've got, this is part of my process. I've got recently read books that I need to process and decide what to do with, which means undog-earing the corners, if I need to, and putting them in the pile to sell back or finding a place for them on my shelf. So this is all decision stuff, and I don't like decisions. So this is the time to do it. This is the last 3 months. And then I've got some planning stuff, and then I've got writing for the 3rd sprint. So depending how fast I am. Yeah. How about you?
Nothing. So I have got the really stinky task today. My manuscript, I can't go into too many details until I've been given the go-ahead by my publishers. But basically, my manuscript that I was working on now needs to be to a very exact time frame, which it's not. So I'm going to be maybe just going on pen and paper and trying to literally go, okay, so on Monday, the 2nd of whatever this happens, on Tuesday, whatever this happens, so that I can make sure that it all leads up, because there's now an awful lot that needs to happen in a very, very, very little space of time. And it needs to be realistic as well. Okay. So that's what I'm going to be working on.
Okay, we're just talking about that. So, my YA book, Dulce's Legacy, was on Tuber Book Club, and they were just talking about how timelines in books, when you put them in, they have to be accurate or people will pick up on them. And so someone was talking about the first day of school and trying to figure out how it could be right. And I think I slipped up or whatever, but yeah, they caught that and they were discussing it. So good on you for fixing it before it goes to publish.
I've got that book ready for me for Mother's Day. In a week and a half, one of my lovely boys bought it for me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. You must have had a great wish list already for them.
That's awesome. Know. They're literally like, Mother's Day is coming up. Is your Amazon wish list ready? I'm like, yeah, it is. Right. You can choose what you like. Yeah.
When is Mother's Day?
Mother's Day it's not this Sunday in the UK. It's next Sunday.
Okay, so yours is just in March on a Sunday. Ours is in May on a Sunday. I always forget when it is.
Yeah, I have. Honestly, though, there's something about my family. They always forget when I've had Mother's Day already. So I always thought I could probably get away with 2, if not 3. Yeah, I really, really need to make use of this, I think.
Yeah, just drop a hint. Wait, wasn't that? I guess it was last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slide.
But no, the timeline is something that I now do with all of my books. At the back of my notebook, I get up normally last year's calendar so that I can, actually have like Monday, the whatever of whatever. And I do it like that because otherwise, when it comes to edits, it's just such a pain.
True. I've tried to use, I have tried to use the software Eon a long time ago, Eon Timeline, and it just didn't work for me. It wasn't close enough. And then I just started putting graph paper and like labeling and just putting like a flow chart, and that's what worked.
Yeah, I think pen and paper. And paper. Right. Why don't we get into a sprint though and actually be productive?
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, I remember. That's what we're here for. We weren't just here to chat, were we?
No, but the chatting's making it fun.
So I'm using one of HK Darkwood's timers because they're like really pretty, I think. And she has the ding at the end, which I like. I require a ding to kind of bring me back to reality.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okie dokes. So let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Let's write. Hello, hello. How did that go for everybody? What did we all get done? I'm wanting to make us bigger. Let's see if I can make us bigger. We need more Margaret in this stream. There we go. I'm kind of cut off, but we can see plenty of you. So that's the main thing, isn't it? Did I swap that properly? Yeah, there we go.
Cut off.
There we go.
What?
I don't want to. Oh, the time is starting again. Okay, look. Okay. There we go. Right. Margaret, how did that go for you?
Fine. I'm discombobulated now. Everything's looking like a patchwork.
Okay, I'm sorry. Oh,
I'm not familiar with Restream, so I'm just like observing how it all works.
you're observing how I'm messing it up. You're my mentor. You were here for me at the very beginning.
But Restream is different. It's a whole different kettle of fish. So, speaking of fish,
Look,
I'm reading about fish. Oh, there we go.
Oh, oh, too big, too big. I'm too big. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Sorry. Right. What are you reading?
I put 2 books to sell back and 2 books to go on the shelf, which I haven't found a place for yet. But this is what I'm reading. Have you ever read any of the Dandy Gilver series by Katrina McPherson?
No, I have not. I love the cover.
Yeah, they're really like cute, sort of graphic before graphic was everywhere. But she's a historical mystery writer, and this is a reread because I needed something that was juicy rather than philosophical. I was getting too much in the weeds. And it's good. It's up in Aberdeen. They're speaking the Doric. More of it.
Awesome.
So, yeah. How was your sprint? I saw you in the chat.
It was good. My dogs are having an argument. So there was a lot of me going, shush, shush. They're fighting over baskets. They have 2 identical baskets.
Oh my God.
But obviously one is better than the other. So they're just kind of like barking at each other, like, get out of my basket. It's not your basket, it's my basket. How can you tell it's my basket?
They are discussing Greek philosophy with their names.
Yeah. Yeah. They know they're my princes, my Prince Hector and Prince Paris. Where do you sell your books? Do you take them to a bookshop or do you do it online?
No, I haven't done any online book sales. I just bring it to my local secondhand bookstore, and I have like $100 credit there at any given moment because I recycle so many in and out. So it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Oh, that's the dream.
Well, you would think with the amount, like every month I go in there with a bag of books, you'd think I would decrease here, but somehow they keep accumulating.
I know. I've been getting a bit overexcited with the libraries because in our town we've got a little tiny library. It's sweet, but it's open like 2 days a week.
Okay.
Which is kind of annoying. So it's open. No, I think they just don't want to pay for more staff. So it's Mondays and Thursdays. But what they like to do is if a book comes in for you on a Thursday, they message you on the Friday. Is there anything more annoying when you're waiting for a book and you just get this text message and it's like, your book is there. The library is at the end of my road. That's how close this book is. And I can't get it. So annoying. But then in another town, like about 35 minutes drive away, there's this amazing, huge new library. So every time I get to go there, I'm crazy. I'm just like this crazed bookwoman, just grabbing everything off the shelves.
So is it the same system?
No, that library is open like 7 days a week. They have a coffee shop. They have like multiple stuff. It's amazing.
Saying that it's a public library, is it the same system? So if you get all the books from the one library, can you return them to the other library and they
no,
get
no, it's a different county.
Bummer.
You see,
Bummer.
So they don't kind of share the books. But last time they even had this massive stand where someone had just donated a load of writing magazines. Just for people to take. And I was like, oh, okay, that's not something I'd ever really buy because they're generally like at least £5 each. And I'm kind of like, that's a lot of money. But I was like, I'll grab a couple. They're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant.
Nice.
Excellent find. Right, let's have a look and see what's been going on in the chat. So, all right, we were joined briefly by, now this is CB394. Now, I know that CB, as I'm going to refer to them, that it comes to your stuff. I think I've seen the name, but never in my chats before, and I don't know how this person is referred to. Do people go CB?
I just call them CB. Yeah, they were more frequent in chats probably like a year or two ago, and then they sort of dropped out. You know, life changes and whatnot. But they're in the UK, and they're writing, but it's just on the side. They also do RPG stuff, I think. So,
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I remember about CB.
Okay, I just wondered like how people refer to them. A link to all of your awesome stuff, a Linktree one. You know, I only just got a Linktree like a month ago. I'm so rubbish.
I can't believe it. I can't believe how successful you are, and just like a newbie at all the things that I've been doing. So I'm here in this hole, like selling no books, and you're all over here selling all these books. You're like, how do you do this? And I'm like, let me teach you and give you no help.
I don't know anything. Help me. And Diane Dobson is also live at the moment, so I popped a link to her sprints in case. Sometimes it's fun to kind of go between, I think, especially if you're a little ADHD this evening. Let's see. And then we also had the lovely Paget, who is super sweet. She's just started reading one of my books that she ordered because she thought it was so beautiful, which is so kind. Says, just read through chapter 11 and mildly fixed it. Now on to chapter 12. Thanks for having these now. Thank you for joining us. And she also very kindly let me know that Mama Magi was there in the chat because she remembered that I can't see Mama Magi on my restream, which is why I have up on my phone as well, so that I could especially see. And Mama Magi says we just call her CB, referring to Pinky, and she's in Scotland. She's a big fan of the Marvel Universe, me too, and Tony Stark. Oh, that's right. Yes, she's writing some fan fiction about Tony Stark's uncle.
Okay. And is there a reason you say Magi? Because I
it's not Mama Maggie. Oh, okay. There we go. It was only one G.
Because it's Magdalena, and she just makes the distinction between Maggie for Margaret having 2 G's and Maggie for Magdalena, I believe, having 1. Is that right? Let me know.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you telling me. And she also says, I miss our secondhand bookstore with book buyback day. The remaining secondhand bookstore won't buy books or even accept donated books, so I take them to a thrift store.
Well, yeah. I answer to anything she says.
I do a mixture with my books. So some of them I kind of sell online if there's good prices. Some of them I take to our book town, Hay on Wye, which is awesome, and there's a massive bookshop there that will often buy them. But the problem is when I go there, I get the money and then I spend the money straight away.
Yeah.
On coffee.
How far away is that? Is that like a trek, or is that like your second?
It's not that close anymore. It's like about, what is it? It's not quite an hour. It's about 50 minutes in the car, I suppose. So it's not too bad. Yeah. But sometimes, like if we're already heading in that direction, like we went there recently because we were going most of the way there to drop one of our kids off somewhere. So we went there. So or else I just give them to charity shops.
Yeah.
Sorry?
It's as good an excuse as any to stop into the book town that is Hay on Wye. Can't imagine why you rob yourself of that pleasure.
It's wonderful. I actually I filmed a vlog when I was there, whenever it was, like a couple of weeks ago. But it's so many bits to put together. I've been putting off like making it into a video because there's just so many bits. But I will. And you were showing off by saying that you'd finished one of your tasks.
Yeah, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4,
Well,
6 piles still on the table, so not really showing off.
no.
One paisley pile. Yes.
And Mama Maggie says, I answer to anything, which was just right. And here is your question for the chat. What do you do if you send a message to 10 people and one responds, but you don't see anything wrong with how you sent it? It's not you. It's just people are rubbish. You must have worked that out by now. Come on.
Yeah. It's a readathon.
That's the thing.
So
yeah. So the problem is you'll be sending it out and they'll go, oh, that would be really good. Oh, Margaret's awesome. Oh, I'd like to do it with her, but I don't have my diary here to check if I'm free to do that, and blah, blah, blah. I'll get back to her. And then they just forget. It's not like it's nothing that you've put, and it's not that they're being rude or anything. It's just that people are rubbish, you know?
as it comes out, I don't know how that comes out in British, but when you say it in English, people are trash, I think would be the popular equivalent. It seems pretty harsh.
No, I don't mean it harshly. It's like I just mean that, you know, if there's not immediately something that they need to deal with, we all do it, don't we? You know, right. Oh, okay, I need to check that. And then more emails come in and you can't see it anymore because it's not at the top of your email and you just forget.
I just looked at my email and realized, you know, that Gmail has 50 emails per screen, and it's like a month is 50 emails. So there's a lot that I haven't, like, when I go back, it takes a screen full for a month. And I went, that's not a great ratio. Oh, well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, Paget says, what does she, her suggestion is maybe pick the one you're closest to and ask if it went through in the nicest way. That's a good suggestion.
Yeah.
And you were saying, yeah, you've been contemplating that. That is a good suggestion. That's better than mine just saying that people are rubbish. Go with hers. Ignore mine.
Hand waving. Oh, did you know and or are you participating in the Wales readathon that's going on in March?
I don't know about any of these things. I'm still such a newbie.
So it's a book thing. It's not an author thing. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
But it's fun. Someone was calling it Dowie-thon because it's St. David's Day on the 1st, but it's also just Welsh reading as much as you can in March, and it is run by KD Books. So if you look up his channel, he'll have like all sorts of fun stuff. But yeah.
Okay, I think I might know KD Books, so I don't know how I didn't know about that. But that would be quite fun because I do know a lot of Welsh writers. Bizarrely, there's like just on my street, there's 5 writers I think that I know.
Holy cow!
Including me. It's really, really nuts. The guy who lives that away to me, he used to write for Marvel.
Wow! So there's a connection. CB would be very interested.
Yeah, exactly. Seriously cool. Yeah.
That dinky library at the end of the road that you have all the writers on your street.
I know, it's like, come on, people, we need the library. Mama Maggie said, I once wanted to have a bookshop cafe in the Shetland Isle. Then I found out there were 6 bookshops / forward cafes, and so the market is saturated. Yeah. Touristy places. They always have the nice cafes and bookshops.
I don't know, Maggie, with your baking, you might blow the competition out of the water. So
yeah, let's shut them down. Yeah, have you checked? They might have all gone out of business over COVID, and you could swoop in.
Yeah, right.
You never know. You never know.
This mindset here.
Yeah. Right. Okay. We should get some more work done. This is far too chatty, Margaret. I'm not going to get anything done.
Okay.
I'm blaming you entirely so that I don't blame myself.
This pace is good for me. slow and steady.
Nice. Nice. I'm often more like, okay, I have, like this long to get an entire day's work done. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yeah.
Right, is it right? Here we go. Here we go. We're getting everything up. I'm doing well today. Not messing up too much in front of my special guest.
With your
We
4
love
layers.
it. Let's see if I can get this back. I know. It's so cold here. It's stupid. Actually, I think that my husband's gone mad and turned on heating because I'm not actually freezing anymore. Must be a special occasion. I think it's an anniversary.
Beforehand, so it would get warm, so it wouldn't be loud right behind me while we were on. So this is why I'm only in 2 layers. Yeah.
Okie dokes. Right. So let's start this other sprint. So let's write in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Hello, hello. How did that one go for you? I hope that that was all kinds of productive. Let's make us nice and big again for while we chat. How was that for you, Margaret?
Good. Like I said, I was gonna do planner stuff, but one of the things on my planner that I was like, oh, that's almost done. I should just do that. So I did that instead. I had most of a post written out, and I proofed it and put it in the right platform for Patreon. So that's done for March 17th. And yeah, and then I started writing my little letter to someone. Did you guys get this email, or am I just completely just about to say that when I heard that? Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it just comes out of nowhere, doesn't it? And you're right in the middle of things. And
yeah, so I had to finish my thoughts.
So with your Patreon, do you make videos as well, or is it like blog posts?
It's blog posts. It's basically taken the place of my blog. Like I had a blog on my website, and it had awkwardly showcased the transition from like, I'm going to host supper clubs and talk about researched places and peasant cuisines and this kind of thing into that was like how I started into writing, and then like self-development, improvement stuff as well in there. So yeah, but it was not getting visited, and I was like, why am I writing for free to a lacking audience? So I thought, oh, well, I can write for people who want to hear from me, and so that's what I do on Patreon.
Brilliant. I didn't know that you could do blogs and stuff, because I know people have got Patreons, but I thought it was all videos, like extra kind of videos on top of YouTube. Cool.
Yeah, you can do pictures. You can do any format of media. You can do live that are private. You can do pictures. You can do words. You can do just links, like, so.
Yeah. Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Let's see what's going on in the chat, because we were in the middle of talking with Mama Maggie about her potential bookshop and cafe. Have to find it on my phone. And yeah, I was suggesting that they might have all gone out of business and maybe she could start her own. But she said, I checked when I was writing Death and the ADA, and sadly, I will not be retiring to my bookshop cafe there. And then, this is terrible, she said, I had someone get really angry because the best friend dies of a brain tumor. Why did everyone have to die? I was like, but it's a book about dating death. I mean, like, it's the death is there in the title. You'd think that people would get that, but apparently they didn't.
Yeah. It's kind of like the other book is Mrs. Death. Have you heard of that title?
No.
Oh,
I like that title.
Yeah, it's Mrs. MRS and then MISSES. So it's like a wordplay for title. And I really like that, but I haven't read it. And I've heard sort of very literary things about it. So I don't know if it would be my kind of book, but I like the concept is intriguing.
Yeah. It's really funny because like so many of the books that you mention and the other kind of booktubers mention who are like from the US or Canada, like haven't made it over to the UK, I find. And then I kind of look them up and they're selling really well in the US, but they just, for some, I mean, I'm sure that you can get them in the UK, but they just don't seem to be kind of front of Waterstones or kind of ones that people are talking about here.
Right.
Maybe. Yeah, it's weird.
So Mrs. Death, I just looked it up, is written by Selena Godin, born in the UK. She is Jamaican Irish and based in London. So
well, there you go.
Breakout book is the first one that I've heard of anyway. So
sure.
Yeah.
Nice. I was complaining because my tea was too weak.
Saw that.
Yeah.
Was it
not
tea or
happy?
That was a little espresso.
Sorry?
Was it tea or espresso?
Oh yeah, that was before. That was, I'm British. We keep them coming. That was the espresso. Then I had the tea. There'll need to be another tea coming in a minute.
Okay.
You know, we only function if we have a hot drink in our hand.
P.S. We were talking about digestives, and you were telling me about how much cheaper they are. Obviously they're imported. They're a delicacy. But I have the dark chocolate digestives, which both you and Andy like. I also got a pack of like blood orange milk chocolate with caramel, and I had never seen it before, so I wanted to try them. I like them better.
No, that's too much going on. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong with a humble chocolate digestive. Even I've tried the ones with the caramel. I was like, what is this? This is a mess. There's no crunch. It's just like the middle of it is weird. And you add
it's a little like figgy because it's so. What I was afraid of is that it would be like really melty, really liquidy caramel, and it would stretch, but it doesn't. It's just like it's chewy. And it's like changed the moisture content of the biscuit, which I can understand if people don't like it. But I was pleasantly surprised because I thought it was gonna like erupt like a pimp or something with jelly. So I was like, good.
Oh, okay. The only time that I usually have like shop bought biscuits is when I go to my sewing group on a Thursday, because there's always biscuits there. We don't tend to have them often in the house, possibly because I'd eat them all. Yeah.
Because you make beautiful things just off the cuff, so you don't need
sometimes. See, perfect. This is my favorite son bringing me another cup of tea.
It's hot.
So we're on the third drink of the sprints, and they still haven't needed to pee. Oh yeah.
Success, right?
Yeah. Anyway, Shannon popped in and said, hi everyone, just got back from errands with my kiddo, made friends with the like button. But she said she's only going to be lurking. Shannon is just crazy busy at the moment, isn't she?
I think so. Yeah. She has so many experiments to do. Yesterday when she was talking about trying out the new newsletter software and not having it work, and then like I saw her like writing and saying, sorry if you got this twice, and it was just like I could just feel the frustration from the other side. So
it's, and when these things don't work as well, when you spend your time trying to do them and then they don't work, it's so frustrating. But because she was working like crazy to get her book off to her readers, and she said that she had a week off, because I said, like, sweetheart, I really think you need to like have some time off. And she said she had a week off. I was like, I really don't feel that you did, unless time is different, because like you're always going.
I went to 2 writing conferences, and I'm sure took copious notes and everything.
Yeah.
And then did this email thing, and like was doing the AWC stuff. So that's a week off.
Yeah. She's awesome. She is. Right. And then Paget said, I need to keep checking for Mama Maggie, actually, in case she's put something. Mama Maggie says laundry load switched, and now to finish the dishes. Excellent. Paget says, I was so distracted earlier, and now I found a way to say, how do you say that word, Margaret? You know how to say words.
Finish the dishes?
No, the one I've got up, the Paget one. Sage.
Oh, segue. We would say
segue. Thank you.
Segue. I think it's a regional difference word.
So, yeah, I kind of know how I would say it, but segue into something in chapter 12. So thanks everyone for that. See, you're so handy to have here. You read stuff for me. It's brilliant. It says, I have to restrain myself a lot with chat also, and often fail, as evidenced many times before. Yeah, I wouldn't understand that at all. Always focused me. Yeah, and then what is this? Yes, here's another thing you can explain to me. What is this pink thing that people type?
Okay, so when you look on YouTube, for example, if you look on your phone, YouTube's platform will show that as an emoji. They give you a keyboard that has these weird.
I see it.
But when it goes through to any sort of streaming backend, they don't know how to interpret that because it's not their emoji or like a regular one. And so they take the meta text and put it in colons.
I thought it was like a cool code.
No,
I thought it was what all the cool kids did, and I'm just too old.
No, it's just they can't read the data.
Oh, see, I want you on all my streams. You help me.
My little translator. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's like Ian Peel. Have you seen? Oh, you probably haven't because it's an Obama thing. There's an actor who had a ongoing gig as the anger translator for President Obama. Did you see any of those sketches?
No,
Oh my
no,
gosh.
but it sounds brilliant.
Yeah, so he has a comedy sketch show with someone else called Key and Peele. Oh, I can't remember his name. Something Key. Anyway, Michael Keegan Key, something like that. Anyway, so he's great.
Okay.
He does his job as a translator, and so Obama would say something, and then he'd turn to the camera and be like exploding and like really frustrated and using colorful language because Obama is so like heard and
Yeah, chilled
like,
and calm. Yeah.
anger translator. So I'll be your, I don't know, YouTube translator.
Yeah. And you can just explain. That's so funny. I honestly thought that it was like a cool code that people use, and I
Yeah.
didn't know like what it. Goodness. I'm so glad I have you. Thank you. Jen, much romance is here saying hi.
And Joanne, hello.
And we have also been joined by lovely Joanne. I hope you're good this evening, Joanne. There we go. Oh, and Paget knows about the anger translator.
Yeah.
See, everybody knows about these things except for me.
Well, US centric. What can I say?
I don't know. I think maybe I am just too old. Too old. Right. I think we should get on to another sprint, though.
Okay.
I have to say. Now, yeah. Margaret, how are you doing for time? Because this sprint will take us up to like the 2-hour mark. So I'm happy to go on for longer, but if 2 hours is enough for you, that is also completely fine.
Okay. I think I'm good to
So
go.
it's whatever you like.
You're kind of cutting out with your audio. I don't know if other people are finding this on the YouTube end, but yeah. I think what you were saying was just hanging on for after 2 p.m. for me, and that's fine. I'm like doing well, passing from one task to another, changing it up, and I may have to get a snack break in here, but other than that, let's keep going. Uh-oh.
Oh, now I can do another 25. What's uh-oh?
You were muted, okay. And now you're cutting. I don't know if it's me. I'm wired in. I'm doing everything I can to be stable, but let's just jump into a sprint. Okay. It'll iron itself out.
Okay. Okay. Let's write in 3, 2, 1.
It sounds so magic. And it is magic because guess what I have now?
There we go.
Nice big cup of full tea.
Woohoo!
So good.
Woohoo! There we go. Okay, so guys, I'm afraid
Your sound cut out. It's okay. It's okay. I can't hear you. Yeah. I can see you moving, but I can't hear you. Oh, would you like me to do an outro for you? Oh, can you guys? All right. Well, okay. I can be heard, so it's just Emma that's in timeout. Okay, so
there we go. Okay, is this better?
I can hear a laugh. Okay, well,
there we go. Okay, does that sound better now?
We can hear you. Yes, all good.
Yay! Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so Margaret, how did that go for you?
It went well. What did I do? I had a snack, had some cheese, tried to get off the carbs, made myself a cup of tea, but I also, what did I do? Oh, I know. I was preparing for a tag. So I was doing some video preparation for later in the month, continuing that kind of stuff. How about you?
Nice. I'm just still working away, working out my timeline and trying to make it so that it all works and people can fall in love in a shorter space of time than I wanted them to, but that's fine because they're meant to be together. So it's cool. It's going to happen. No problem.
For a publisher to like pick at. I'm wondering what the backstory is on that, but maybe that's backstage.
Yeah, there is a really good reason for it, but yeah. So there was a lot of chat going on. I'll have to get it.
I must have missed it. I was focusing.
Oh, all right. Let me see. So there was about the anger translator.
Yes.
And everybody being happy about that. And then about outlines. Paget was saying that she always does her outline, but then she kind of goes off it a little bit. And you made the good point that it exists to return to, which I liked. Yeah, I like that. That was very, very deep. I like that. Right now, where are we? Yeah. And Paget was saying that she's worried because she's at 43,000 words and she hasn't murdered the second person yet.
Problematic. That's hilarious.
It's like, what have I missed? Oh yeah, the second person. And I was asking if she uses Save the Cat for the story beats because I find that really, really helpful. If I'm not sure that kind of things are happening at the right kind of pacing, I think it helps me. I bet, do you use anything like that, or are you? I think you're probably more of a free spirit, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a pantser. I've done a couple different iterations of outlines, but it seems the more detailed I make it before I start, the less I like it after. The one I had detailed the most, I still have not gotten back to it, and I'm sort of, well, yeah, I don't know if I have to abandon it and start over or what. So we'll see.
Oh, I couldn't cope with abandoning.
Yeah.
No. Oh, that'd be terrible. Joanne left us. which was obviously terrible, but we were joined by unapologetically Monique, which is lovely. I haven't seen you for a little while, but I think it's
very cool.
It is. It's a beautiful name, isn't it? But I think it was just a little drop in, but also by the lovely Tara Dion, who's one of my original Nano crew.
Oh,
back
nice.
in November. I know. I love it. It's so sweet. So many of them still come to my streams, and it's really nice. It's like a little gang. Man after my own heart. I should really be going to sleep, but thought I'd say hi. Yeah. What was the one? There was something that you were doing, wasn't it? And it was at like midnight here. And I ended up watching the whole thing. It was a panel, but I can't remember what panel it was. And then after that,
yeah, the readers just finishing the Black Author Tuber readathon and talking about the books that we were recommending.
It was really good. If anybody hasn't watched that, go and look on Margaret's channel and find it, because it's well worth watching the replay. But yeah, I was watching that, and then I was reading Shannon's book. So between the two of you. So last week, Tara Dion was in one of my sprints, and he was struggling to finish some essays, but he did finish them. So that's absolutely brilliant. Congratulations. And Katie Elizabeth has also joined us. Hi, Katie. Good evening. Caught 20 minutes of that sprint. Just got home from work, so was reading rather than writing. Nice to have you here.
Yep.
She's another UK one, so it's late for her there. So yeah, and then we had the excitement of not being able to hear me. So there we go. There's always something with me. That's what's so exciting about my sprints.
Oh, what a
you never know what's going to happen.
Yep.
Okay, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you found these sprints useful. And thank you especially to Margaret. It has been lovely to have you here. I have learned so much from you, I feel. Yeah, you are a wonderful co-host.
Very translator on your shoulder. Yeah, I rep myself out for an hour.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. So thank you very much. I will be back doing more live sprints tomorrow at my usual time, which is 3 p.m. GMT. I have no idea what time that is wherever you are. You're just going to have to look it up yourselves. Okay, so hopefully I will see some of you tomorrow. Have an awesome rest of your day, and bye for now.